welcome to our March 2020 What Were They Thinking Food Edition video. This is during the COVID-19 pandemic. We are following all CDC protocols handed down from the governor and our own city manager at Joe Valentine. So for this video, Donna and I will be social distancing and keeping 6 feet away at all times. Hi there, Donna.
Hi there, Caitlin. So, Birmingham, the recipe that you chose for March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, is Rumpledethumps or Colcannon. Now, both of them are the exact same thing, but Colcannon is the name for the Irish dish, and Rumpledethumps is the name for the Scottish dish. They both are pretty much the same recipe. And to find the recipe, we wanted to kind of look into something to celebrate Ireland. So I went overseas, and this recipe wasn't that easy to find because it's just something that people just know how to make because it's made with leftovers. But an Irish magazine online published a recipe from the 1830s, and another magazine published a Scottish recipe from the 1830s with the correct names of Colcannon and Rumpledethumps. Basically, it's just take leftover mashed potatoes and leftover cooked cabbage, some spring onions, saute it, throw it all in a big bowl, mash it all together, and throw it in the oven. Now, in this dish, I have it half and half, one with cheese, one without cheese, because we're kind of celebrating both the 19th and the 20th century here. In the 18th and 19th century, it does not call for cheese, but around the 20th century, people started adding cheese to the top and cooking the cheese on top. So I thought we'd try both sides.
And what's interesting nowadays is we so associate with the potato with cooking from the British Isles and particularly Irish cuisine. But potatoes are native to South America, and they were only introduced in Europe with the Spanish conquistadors. So only in the late 1500s did the potato make its way to Ireland. And it steadily became a hit because it's very nutritionally dense, very easy to grow, a lot easier than oats and wheat. And this was great because at that time, the absentee British landlords were moving towards raising livestock to sell in the beef market overseas, which meant that the Irish peasants were farming less and less land, which meant they were more and more heavily dependent on potatoes. So in the 1840s, the potato crops began to fail, leaving millions of people starving. And this led to one of the greatest migrations in modern human history, with hundreds of thousands of Irish individuals immigrating to the United States.
A little bit of with the cheese. So 20th century and the...
Right.
This is really... there we go.
Right.
And just because some of that Irish from Ireland. Cheese. Now that we are all served.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Tasting commence.
All right, I'm going to do the 19th first, the 19th century first.
I did the 20th century first.
Now I'm doing the 20th century with the cheese crusty on top.
I mean, they're both delicious, but as a good Midwesterner, I gotta say the cheese.
You have to have the cheese.
Yeah, the cheese is great.
I'm a big cheese fan too, and yes, this is actually, the Irish know how to feed a people. They know how to feed a people.
Well, it only takes like an acre to feed like 10 people, an acre of potatoes, so.
Yeah, well this dish here was only 5 potatoes and a quarter head of cabbage. So, and that's a big bowl. That would feed you, that'd be a nice dinner. So it's a very filling dish too. You can see why this would be popular among the peasantry.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. Or just, people who are on the move,
Yeah.
like our mystery coming up.
Mm-hmm. And also, we can think about World War I and World War II rationing here in our kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're doing that World War II exhibit in our kitchen.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so shall we do our ratings out of 5, Donna?
Oh, definitely a 5, especially with the 20th century with the cheese, because this is really good cheese too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I went to my cheesemonger and bought real Irish cheese.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 as well. I love potatoes. I love cabbage. I love onion. It works.
So Birmingham, we have an assignment for you during everybody's sort of self-isolating period. In the late 19th century, early 20th century, we have heard about an Irish shantytown right outside of Birmingham. The Irish came in to work on the Detroit Railway, so the DUR, and unfortunately, we don't have anything but a picture, just one picture, but no other information. So Birmingham history sleuths and any of you high schoolers who are into history, this would be a perfect time to help us out. If you have any information on the Irish shantytown right outside of Birmingham, if you know of any family members that might have been part of the Irish migration here into Birmingham, or even if you've heard stories, contact us either through email, Facebook, or Twitter. We would love to find out what you have found out. So Birmingham, you have homework.
Thank you so much for joining us for our March What Were They Thinking Food Edition video. Important note, we are closed to the public at this time, but you can reach us over email, phone, or Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And I will put all that information in the video description.